Yo, what's up, guys? How we doing tonight? A little impromptu action. So, what is this thing called? GVMs. Let me fix these GVMs. We can't be green on this. So, was I behind schedule? Solar God, Philip. What's up, man? Hey, Philip. Let me know if you want to come on tonight. I was gonna have this guy on from San Francisco, West Coast, but turns out he's on vacation. So if you want to come on and talk about art market, that's probably just chilling on YouTube. Oh, you're working? Yeah, if you want to come on, dude, we could talk about what's going on with the art market and sorcery. It'd probably be pretty interesting if you're up for it. There we go. Look at this. Look at this wheel of colors. Look at the Gadu lighting up. It's holographic. Hey, look at that. Sick. I like the blue though. I like those blue tones. It's my go-to. All right, we're just messing around until some people get up in here. We may or may not have some guests. Let me see here. Purple? Purple's not bad. You want to go purple? It saturates the chimeras though. I think blue is probably optimal. I should have restarted the computer too. It seems like we're a little laggy. All right. We're gonna go blue, and then did we laggy? Shit. All right, hang on a minute. All right, we're gonna go USB. I got some things. We can talk about the. Is it laggy? It's a little laggy. We could talk about the sorcery market, the art market, predominantly artist proofs. I do have some things to show if people are interested in. I have been acquiring some new artwork that is pretty sweet, and there's some interesting stories behind it. Let's do this. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. So I'm gonna present the share screen. All right, guys. So what we're going to do. Solar God. All right. So on the community Facebook page, what are people liking here? Boom or bust. So far, it's all boom. It's all boom. There's very little bust. I think so things did get a little soft and quiet at times. It seems like we got a quiet lull period here. We did have the first couple of artist proofs from Matthias Frisk, which are freaking awesome. And let me see. I think I still have a few. Let me show a few cards here in a moment. We had a few auctions on recently, some big ones. So we had some great artist proofs, the first couple from Matthias Frisk. So he brought what was it? Maybe like 8 to 10 artist proofs. First he's ever sold, I believe, to my knowledge, at the Baltimore Sorcery Spring social event. It was a great event, really good time, and it was Matthias's first show appearance, and I think, like I say, the first time he offered artist proofs. So a lot of them were scooped up. I think all but 3 or 4. I ended up taking 3 or 4 back, and we decided we would auction those. So the first one did nicely. It sold for about $500, and then this one here, which is pretty epic. Is it laggy? Even my computer's slow. Yeah, look at this guy here. So it's on the back of the Sorcery Alpha box. This is the guy that's on the back of the box, right? The scored zombies. Really awesome artwork by Matthias. He's kind of known for doing these skulls. Always look incredible. I love the original art of this guy. Emaciated. And his face just tearing apart. And then we had, it's kind of like juxtaposition, right? So I was on the right side, facing left, with his hand up in the air, and then he kind of reversed him, and you get a zoom in. And the guy still got his t-shirt on a little bit, so he's not completely thawed out just yet. It's a little raw. Whereas here, he's a little more decayed, clearly. But that was a real cool proof. And then, of course, the big one here was let's go back. The big auction here, the Gnome Hollows. This painting is incredible. I could just go grab it. I haven't packed it up and shipped it just yet. But the Gnome Hollows, this is the way it was showcased and displayed at the Sorcery Spring Social in Baltimore. Amazing artwork. It's a very large piece. It's on hard board, so it's a real. What's up, Dave Sheedy? Dave Sheedy was at the show. You can see I had it sitting here on the table, and then I had several of these prints. I still have some of these prints if you guys want to take a look. I got several of the Philo Stone. I think I got one. I might have one complete set of Severin's Elemental Avatars first left. I mean, several of those sold, and then there's maybe like 5 or 6 of Time Stop, which is a real beautiful painting that is not yet in the game. You guys saw me, if you've been watching the sample breaks, I pulled those a few sample packs ago. I think it's the only Time Stop that's ever been discovered. So it's kind of a Grail sample card. Super rare. Again, did not make it into Alpha. I think it was slated to be an elite rarity. When it was commissioned from Severin, it was called Dandelion. And it has this beautiful image of this woman blowing on the dandelion. People are commenting in the Discord. But it's a very intricate, detailed piece. And there's a real good story I ran here with some history. I actually wrote an article. If we go to collectorarthouse.com, I don't know if you guys, it seems like the site gets pretty good number of views. I don't really look at the metrics on like which pages are being viewed the most per se, but there's a great art gallery here from all the alpha artwork, and I noticed there's still a few pieces that I probably need to remove from here that I had discovered very early on, but actually were not used in alpha. But a lot of the alpha set in the full art image is used here. Here's an example, Succubus by Elvira Shakarova. So it's predominantly alphabetical order, but for some reason a few of them got out of sequence too, which is a little strange. But a great gallery there. And then the subfolders, we have some of the reveals for Arthurian Legends. There's still a few, like the ones from the Baltimore show, I still need to track down. But all of these were revealed earlier. I've actually been going back and forth with Ian Miller, and I think he wanted to actually offer one of these paintings, and I was like, dude, you probably gotta wait until they reveal it. So he had a couple pieces, and he was like, yeah, I might sell one of my Arthurian Legends pieces soon. He was asking about like how I do auctions and stuff, and I was like, well, to my knowledge, I don't know that they revealed any of yours for Arthurian. Unless it was something like commissioned early that maybe was revealed and not used, but I don't recall any to that effect. So he just kind of came back and said like, oh yeah, maybe you're right, you know. So I think he's gonna hold off because I haven't seen it. I know like a couple of these he had posted on his page at one point, and I think they were labeled as Arthurian Legends. That's why they're here under the. I have an Arthurian Legends page. Since he called it Arthurian Legends, I assume these two are going to be in the set. And then I have an unconfirmed, which is a bunch of artwork that we know has been commissioned for the game, but we don't know if it's in Arthurian or some future set, right? But the Drew piece was revealed. Then we had the Sir Tristan. That was the first record sale in Sorcery, for sure. I sold this one a while back for Elvira, and it was a great success for her. Beautiful, amazing piece. A bunch of people got to see that in Baltimore, which is really exciting because what happened was the guy purchased this piece a while back, but we knew he was coming to the Baltimore show, so I was just going to give it to him in person. And as it turned out, you know, the night before the event, the Friday night, he went to the Orioles game in Baltimore, and it was pouring rain, you know, so he was staying at a different hotel. He didn't want to carry the painting in the rain. So I was setting up the night before and bumping into a lot of guys from the community, and they got to see this piece. And then I gave it to them Saturday morning at the show, and a lot of people got to see it Saturday morning. So they were really blown away by this beautiful artwork and the amazing gilding on the Sir Tristan. And what Eric had mentioned is that there are knights. So he implied that there is more than one knight. He called it the chase cards of Arthurian Legends. So he didn't specify if that means curios. They don't talk about curios. So I don't know if they're going to be curios or if they're going to be just very rare cards in the set. Maybe more rare than your typical unique. He didn't really say one way or the other. And then he said there was going to be a special foiling technique for the gilding. And now this was a while back. I don't know definitively if he followed through with that. You know, sometimes the company changes their mind and their design plans, so it's unconfirmed, but that's what he said at that time. And interestingly, on this piece, this was completely black. So when Elvira, when she first revealed this, I forget if she did these letters on here before or after she came on to my channel. If you guys go look at the live section of Collector Art House YouTube, you can go a while back. It was last year sometime. Elvira revealed the Sir Tristan on an interview we did on the channel here. And originally there was no text here. So when we sold this piece, she wanted to fill that in and make the painting look more complete. So these letters are now there, and it's not digital, obviously. It's like she did this by hand, and she has a scanned image. So I'm not sure if that's going to be used in the card. I'm not sure why it was blank. You know, I got the impression that she must have scanned it blank and delivered it to Eric originally. So I don't know what his vision or intent was for the text box. I just know that she wrote this after at the point of sale. So it's not clear if this will prevail and be in the set, or if Eric's going to take another direction with that, with the version that had no text here. And who knows? I mean, my thought was, if this was black, he could have potentially digitally inserted the set logo here. Like if this was a chase card, and maybe he'll still do that. You know, he could put digitally the name Sir. He doesn't even have to put the name here, right? This was black. There wasn't this title bar here where it says Sir Tristan, and then there's these different language letters. You know, the title is up here. That was on the painting, so he already has that. This was completely just a big black box. And in theory, you know, perhaps he was going to put the logo, would have been my guess. The new Sorcery logo that you see is it's like a branding logo, but it's presumed that I don't know. It's been on all of their marketing stuff on different socials. This different looking logo that has this more Arthurian look and feel to it. So just a guess there. These are a couple Ian Miller pieces. One from Jeff Menges of Stonehenge. One Lindsay had revealed a while back at a show down in New Zealand, and then ultimately the Sealy Court by Liz Danforth. So Liz is going to be at the Sorcery Spring Social event. Big announcement there. No, not the Sorcery Spring Social, excuse me, the Vegas Sorcery Con. So Liz Danforth will be there. I thought she had sold this piece. I was talking to her last week, and I was really surprised when she told me. I was like, hey, can you give me a picture with the Sealy Court, and when I make the announcement, I want to have you holding it or standing next to it, right? And I was like, oh, but you already sold it, so it's not possible. And she's like, actually, no, it's right here in my living room or something. She has it on display in her house. So I was surprised. I thought she had sold it at the show, so I guess I just misunderstood. But she's holding out. I think she knows it's like a big time. It's a very significant painting. You know, when you have this many characters, that much color diversity and quality, detail. It's pretty large as well. I got to see it at the IX Art Show last year, and it's a really large, beautiful piece. And it's called the Sealy Court, you know, so there's a lot of, perhaps these will be other characters in the Arthurian Legends set. That'll be really exciting to see how that manifests. But she's holding out on offering this one, and she's going to be at Vegas, so maybe she'll bring it. I don't know. I think she's doing a magic show the week before. Margaret Organ Keene will also be there. She's doing a show. So it's going to be really, really incredible. Oh, you want to come on, Philip? You can hop on and show some of Severin and etc. before I do. Yeah, if you want to come on and show some artwork, that would be amazing. I was going to show a few things as well. Let me know if if you want to come on, man. I'm gonna DM you, and if you want to come on and send you, I can do it over Discord. Should not do it on the screen I'm sharing though. So let me grab. This is what I'm gonna do. I could probably private message you on here if I knew what I was doing, but I do not. Let me stop sharing that. All right, nice. All right, you got it. All right, so I'm gonna invite you. I'm going to send you a message on Discord, and you could jump in here. And let me see if our guy Glenn wants to come on. Oh, shit, I'm getting more. All right, hang on. All right, guys. So we're gonna have like an amazing art showcase here in a moment. It's gonna be really sick. So what is this? I try to go to a page, I get advertisements all the time. Open Discord. What is this? New Discord interface? All right. Let me try blue. All right, here's the link. This is a DM, right? All right, so you got the link. And when you jump in there, all right, he's got it. All right, so this guy is who I go to the local guy. We go to his frame shop. He introduced me to this frame shop nearby. Absolutely incredible. Great taste in art. I clicked the virus link, and he's really helped me frame like a lot of my pieces, which is awesome. So that's gonna be cool, and I want to show a few things too with the. Let's get the. All right, hang on a second, guys. Let me get the overhead cam rolling. How about them apples? All right, here we go. All right, let me go to the AirPods. See how we're doing on audio. Hey.
Thanks. Can you hear me?
Oh wait,
Hey,
I can't
what's
hear
up?
you. Hang on, I think I'm muted. There we go.
Oh, interesting. Can you
Oh
hear
wait,
me?
no, I lost you.
Yeah. Okay, let me see.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear anything. Hang on.
Okay, let's see something real quick.
There we go. How's it going?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey,
Can
what's up?
people?
Oh, this is StreamYard now.
Yeah, can people in the chat hear?
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, they can hear you. So this is Blue
Oh,
U
okay.
on the Discords, right?
Yeah, it's Blue You on Discord.
And you've been to some of the shows, so I think people in the local area, Baltimore, Maryland, Northern Virginia,
Camera's a little weird.
know
It's
you.
okay though. There
Yeah,
we go.
so I think I forget how we connected. It was through the Discord, and then we just as it turned, you bought one of the early artist proofs from Elvira Shakarova.
Oh yeah, I actually don't have that. Let me see if I can. Oh, here it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I found out, once I got your shipping address, you're like 30 minutes away. And then I had like a pile of art, like all this art I was acquiring from Sorcery and needed to frame it. And it took me like over a year to frame my first one. And I'm still waiting for him back. So our guy's down there, he's got like 10 of my paintings. And he helped me pick out every last one of them, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's gonna. I mean, that pickup day is gonna be wild.
Yeah.
It'll be a really fun day. But yeah, it was. I think it was about a year ago. Time flies. But I actually don't have that many. I can show, but these are APs I have. I think I got all of these from you, Mike. These two, and then one at the show and one from the Fazetta Girls. But this was a Dream Quest one. I think this is the first one I bought from you, and then I think the second was the Mix Ignis. I think that was the first one.
Oh, you ended up getting that one too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, got that one. And then the other two I have is just the this one, which I wanted the 25 out of 25, so I somehow got it.
Oh, sweet.
But then it's like I don't know what to do with this. Like I don't know what to do with these blank APs, and I thought they'd be really smart and then sign it at the very bottom so people can do like art on them, but then they just pass it right in the middle of the card.
Oh, yeah, I know, that's too bad. Yeah.
And then this is a one from Matthias that you were mentioning. And I picked up right at the end, I think. Yeah.
You got that at the show. Nice.
Yeah. But I'm kind of all over the place. When I met Mike, I think it was right before. I missed all the original auction paintings, which was tragic for me. But I do a lot in art in general, so tons of collecting and like fine art, post-realism, postmodern abstraction, things like that for a while. And I dabble a lot in kind of like traditional contemporary things, so like Salvador Dali all the way to kind of new emerging artists right now. And I collect some old stuff, like 15th, 16th century. And furniture too. So like all the stuff behind me is like antique. And yeah, just a avid general art type collector style.
What is there a market for furniture to resell it, or you just buy stuff?
No, I mean, so actually, there's a huge. Some of the old vintage furniture market did better than Magic.
Wow.
Like things from like 19, like a lot of the markets cool down, and I think it's going to cool down. And it won't pop probably until the next decade, 10, 20 years now, just because of compression. but a lot of stuff from like 17th, 18th, 19th century did really well. A lot of American antique furniture, so people who were kind of selling in yard sales, and they had their great grandma's things, and it looked really worn down. What I didn't realize was that that was like handcrafted from furniture makers that no longer existed from like the 1800s, late 1700s, and people would buy these for like $400 and they flip it for like 20 grand.
Holy shit, that much.
After maybe putting like 5K, 3K and restoring it. So there was like a whole booming market like that. But it's cooled off a lot. Same with a lot of collectibles.
Yeah. Where do you
So
buy?
kind of
Where do you find like the really old paintings you mentioned from 15th, 16th
um,
century? You said.
yeah. So I have some downstairs. I'm moving a few things down because of dude, 2.5 year home, 2.5 year home, and I go in and then my AC breaks, and it's gonna be 100 degrees Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, it's broken right
Uh,
now, sitting in the heat.
yeah, so they had to rush
It's
over
nice
the
and
part.
cool tonight. Yeah, mine went down a couple weeks ago. Is it just the capacitor, or
No,
is it something more?
the compressor.
Oh, the
So it
compressor. Oh
cost me
my
a few
god.
grand to fix it. Yeah.
Oof.
Um,
Damn. Sorry to hear that. That's
no,
terrible.
it's okay. But then but paintings do best around like 65 to 7 degrees. Anything higher than that without varnish, you're going to run into restoration issues after about
Wow.
if for long exposure. So I'm bringing everything down and then putting fans and taking some stuff to some of my cold storage tomorrow. Um, but yeah, it's a interesting market. Now, when it comes to sorcery,
Yeah.
wild. That
Yeah. What do
is.
you, so
Um,
you're a pretty sophisticated collector. You buy from all different eras, all different genres of art, right? Have you done much in TCG art to see how that market's evolved over the years and Magic and
yeah,
other
I
games?
have. I mean, like I dabbled a little bit in Magic originally,
Okay.
um, and then but I was born when Magic was made, so there wasn't a lot of opportunity for me to kind of get into some of that early spree. Um,
Yeah.
but I started to dabble into a little bit. I thought it was kind of interesting overall. I think what with collector art markets, what's fascinating for me is that you can break ceilings, and it's a pretty bubbled market. Like a lot of things inside TCGs would, like galleries or fine art galleries would never buy or hang. At the same time, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
because the collective nostalgia of that group, and as that game grows, it can actually fuel and accelerate faster growth than things that hang in galleries anyways. Who cares? If your goal is just to enjoy the art and also appreciate against it. Um, so
Yeah,
when it, so
one
when
of the
it,
things we talked about is how the liquidity is better because there's a built-in
mhm.
market of passional. Even in Sorcery, there's a lot of players that have become like hybrids. They've really grown an appreciation for art, so they started collecting artist proofs or prints or whatever, and then natural progression from prints is maybe embellished prints or an original. And then the weird thing is on Kickstarter, like a lot of people that were in on Kickstarter pretty early, if you had just one case of alpha, that's $7,000, right? So like some of
Yeah,
these paintings seem expensive, but like when you look at it relatively to say like, do I want this case of 6 boxes of cards or do I want an original painting from the alpha debut? I think a lot of people have made that trade, or they pulled like a Philo Stone or a Brahm. Like a lot of guys are trying to sell their alpha Philo Stone or with their high end card, right? Or like a couple cases of alpha and just get the one painting they love. So I think that all fuels it. But the liquidity, there's more ready buyers as well. It feels
oh,
kind of narrow and small right now. I know some guys have collected more than others, but it's actually pretty widespread. There's 400 paintings in a debut, 403. Eric probably owns a third of it, but
yeah. I mean,
himself. But
you
there's a
do it for a
lot
while.
out there in the wild, like widespread.
I
It's
think you
pretty
want that.
awesome.
I think you want
Yeah.
the found like because technically what these paintings are serving probably for Eric's company and for himself is just equity.
Yeah.
So like if you start any business and you have an equity position, you're more, or if you're a founder and owner, you want to put more time. You invest in the success of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you would want, you know, Eric to have in that way. Like I hope he has a lot too, because I mean that's all vested interest in a lot of ways to
Yeah.
increase the growth of the game, what he loves, and also overall the value of everyone's collection over time. If you're into that, I mean, some
Mm-hmm.
people I admit I'm a player too, and I play a
Yeah.
lot of TCGs, and that's
Mm-hmm.
a really great element of the game, and then players drive collectability. So it's a symbiotic ecosystem that you need to make a game successful. It's interesting stuff.
What do you think about like style, like the stylistic diversity in Sorcery? Because you're going to show some Severn pieces. Like an artist like her, I feel like is something you very rarely see in a TCG. Her style, right? Like the elemental avatars. There's really no game that would probably print a art style like that. You'd expect more of like the Death Speaker by Sudlow, like more high fantasy, not like the nature esque aspect of the stuff she does, or Time Stop, and I'm trying to think like maybe they changed the name of it, the one with the woman and the flowers. Why am I blanking
Oh,
on the name
Mother
of
of
it?
Nature? No, oh,
No,
the sleep
yeah,
one?
Mother Nature kind of. She kind of
Yeah,
fantasized,
sleep.
fantasy-sized,
Somewhere.
fantasyized that one, but
Yeah,
yeah, Sleep. Sleep is the one
sleep.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of. Yeah, that's another one. It's a little fantasy-like, but it's like also can stand alone independently outside of the game. So there's a lot of artwork like that, and there's other that's core fantasy that you would see in traditional TCGs. It's a great mix. It's something for everybody.
Yeah, I opened cracks. I'm still paying for it because I've probably opened dozens of boxes since then and literally got nothing. But my first case of alpha, so I did it from a lot of different people. I can show you. I brought the hits. I got so lucky. But in 6 boxes, I pulled alpha foil stone and LGS. So I think I did a picture of that.
Damn.
And then I got like 2 foil cores, a Pathfinder, Avatar Earth, Dead Speaker, and Mirror Realm, and that was 6 boxes. I'm paying for it. I'm gonna pay for that for the rest of my life
Yeah.
because
Once
I'm
you hit
40.
those hits, you
Yeah,
get addicted. You get the itch.
yeah,
Yeah, it was interesting because I top pledged the Kickstarter because like my initial interest was I love the artwork in general. I wanted it on the cards and I wanted a complete set. So like top backing it came with a full set of the artist proofs, just blank back, but like a built-in non-foil set, and then the
yeah,
foil uncut sheet. So in a way, it's kind of like a built-in master set. So like from the start, I didn't have like a burning itch to open much at all because I already had it between the sheets and the artist proof cards, which is kind of like a blessing in a way. And then I like hard pivoted to art, and then when the cards were so valuable, like as the boxes are so valuable, it's like harder to open them because like the gambling factor of like hitting a hit or not is the boom or bust factor is just so much higher.
yeah,
So I never really had like a burning temptation to do that, and then I got so much into the art that I just started buying paintings. I've acquired a bunch of those, and yeah, like I say, it's like that trade. Like it just the one of one nature of it, the like handcrafted
yeah,
unique element, like getting to know so many of the artists too, and not just myself, but like a lot of people in the community have engaged with the artist on the Facebook group, the community group, or Discord. So you get to know them, and then the art itself becomes more meaningful, and it feels good to support them, instead of just kind of buying a lot of bulk that you end up throwing in the closet or throwing out.
yeah, for sure.
Good feel.
Yeah, and
I've never regretted a painting purchase. It's an awesome feel.
I can bring stuff over to it. It's just
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I found Severn through sorcery, and as soon as I found like my love of art is and everyone's preference is different. But me, as you know, like I love the ones that like the artist would paint no matter what. It's like there's
Hmm.
this like drive in this. It's like regardless of what the cost was, whether I would sell it or not in the future, I had to make it real. And those are the things that really pull me. Just not for value. I mean, I don't really do art for. If it appreciates, great. But
Yeah.
ultimately, you buy what you love. But I can show to you, but not from the game. But I do think it gives like a interesting history of where some of you can see a lot of the stylings from it. But let me know if you can see this one. I'll try my best to show. It's pretty big.
Wow. That's how big is that? That's
It's
way
it's
bigger than I
pretty
thought.
big. But this is from Severn too. So like
Man.
if you see, I think it's 2015.
Yeah. It's an
And
older piece. Yeah.
the story behind this was that she was painting a friend of hers, who I believe was a dancer, a longtime friend, and she kind of wanted to capture. That's what I mean, kind of something that you paint from the heart that an artist wants to kind of make real no matter what.
Yeah.
And I think and this can just be me, right? Everyone's different, but I do think you see that love and passion in the art that they create. But you, yeah, just tons of detail. And I think she does this perspective a lot. I think you see it like in the Avatar, you see it in Time Stop, kind of like that slanted look away perspective, which is really interesting. It's kind of less directly at you, and it looks more like you're looking into a window or something. I know my camera's weird, but and what struck to me is I know we talked about this too, Mike, but like varnish, varnish is it's like a really art in and of itself because you have to get it right. Like if you do it too much, it gets shiny and doesn't look that great. If you do it too low or in botched places, then it looks too matted and it doesn't look well done. But I noticed that Severn, just as great as she is, she's just wonderful with just getting the varnishes right across it. And you can see kind of the detailing in both the flowers. And every time I look at it, I usually just find something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very detailed piece. Like someone in the chat here just commented that that's better than any of the sorcery avatars that she did. But like I think so. I know she did some fantasy art like back in the 70s or 80s. I want to say like years ago.
Yeah.
Or like it might have been more for like I want to say it was like for one of the fantasy magazines or Dragon magazine, but the French version
Yeah, I
in
know.
Europe. So she
Yeah.
had some experience there, but I don't know if she had experience doing art for like a TCG card. So I'm thinking like when she did the back and forth with Eric, like when you have like a very detailed piece like that, it doesn't work as well for a card because there's almost too much
No,
going on.
it actually doesn't.
So I
Yeah.
think so I think purposefully like her art in sorcery is purposefully simplified, and like a lot of
It's
the art
probably
in
a.
sorcery is
I know we talked about this too a bit, Michael. Like, why don't they use oil on canvas more? It's probably for the
yeah.
same reason. It's just to
Hmm.
make it render a little bit better in size and proportion. But this is called Feed. This one's Fairy, and I'll bring the other large one I have from Severn.
Yeah, I think our friend Glenn was telling me about that. Yeah,
Oh
so
yeah,
like when you do the art on a card, it's important to have like a central focal point because you want the card to be recognizable in the gameplay and have like a very direct, easily correlative and direct association between the title and the art and the gameplay mechanic. So these pieces that these artists have done outside of sorcery are really incredible. Man, I had no idea that Severn piece was so large. I kind of regret not buying that one because I remember
I
I
know
asked
you
her what
actually
she
got that
had.
one before I did it.
Yeah, I asked her and she sent me like a list, and I think that was on it, and I was like super tempted. I was like, "Oh man, this is a big one. All right, let's take a look."
Heads up for those, like, I know this has nudity on it, so but
Yeah,
just for info and give people like a 5-second warning if they have kids around.
tasteful nudity. Yeah,
Tasteful nudity.
this
So
yeah, the inspiration for Mother Nature. This one.
yeah, here it is. So this is Seed Woman. Um, and this was kind of that repaint she did for her book. I know it's hard with the camera, sorry, but
Yeah, frame
that's what it
looks
looks
great.
like.
Wow, that's huge too,
Really
man. I had no
detailed.
idea.
Um, and you know, Mike the Severn, I think really loves the Mother Nature theming. Like, I think
Yeah,
you said Avatar Earth was a favorite and kind of that Gaia element to it. I don't know if you can see, but what struck me the most, and the reason why this was like an insta buy for me, was actually
wow,
the eyes.
yeah,
That blue looking at you through all the wood and green and dark. It's like it's staring just directly into you.
yeah,
And that's where I get the sense of like she would have made this no matter what. Um,
yep.
yeah.
I love those large pieces too. Man, that looks so impressive. Like I've seen it in the book and on her web. Like I have like one of her art books and on her website and stuff. But that just looks so incredible. The size, the detail, the colors. It looks so great, man. It's slippery slope because it's gonna make me want to start buying paintings outside of the game. I'm trying to stick to the game for now. And
Yeah.
I'm
I
already
mean,
like out of control with the game. Was like opportunities come up all the time. I keep getting more and more.
yeah. I mean, you buy each other, but I mean, also from like a value perspective, like how I think about these is, it can be hit or miss, right? Like sometimes an artist's most valuable pieces from a game just stays of always being things from the game.
Yeah,
You know, like Rob Alexander, his MTG pieces versus non. Actually, I actually like a lot of his MTG's better pieces than the stuff he did for MTG. But it's because of the history and the collectability over time, they don't value in the same way. Other times, I've seen like card games or collectibles just created a halo effect where it actually the value of the work sometimes outside of the game, just based on the variance in quality, can create a difference in price too. So like like for example, like Therese Nielsen is one. Potentially like try getting any of her work in the game or not original painted at this scale for any price it's going to cost you.
Yeah, I think that happens when people within the TCG art market transcend the game and they start taking an interest in the artist and their work beyond the game, because then their market for their work grows, demand grows, supply stays the same, or they can only produce so much, so demand for their work grows, so their work inside and outside of the game becomes more valuable. But yeah, something like that. So I'm like kind of at that juncture too, where like I love my sorcery collection, but I see like a couple pieces like you just showed, and it makes me want to get one of Severn's pieces outside of the game, and then surround it with like the sorcery pieces and have like a wall, a Severn wall. That's probably like the next step in my progression personally, because it just looks so amazing.
And I want to bring this one as the last one that can kind of hop out and give your stream back. But it's this is the one that you made possible, Mike, right? Like those Curio APs.
The thought was like, if you see you bought that, it was a sketch only version of that artist proof, and then we offered you can commission that piece. So this is the original painting that matches. It was just sketched only, inked, artist proof, and then she did a matched commission painting to match that artist proof. That's what this is, and then she did an embellished print series that Elvira offers through her Patreon. So that's the original. It looks great, man.
Yeah, so that was that.
Awesome framing choice. Yeah, and these were all framed by at least the Mother Nature in this one were framed by the guy that I'm using to frame my stuff. So this guy's the best. Athena. Athena framing. He did that first. The first one, the Fae, that was a Severn's frame, right? Did she send it to you framed? Yeah, she's into those wooden frames.
She did the same one for Fee, but unfortunately the frame broke in transit. But I'm actually really happy with how the new one frame out gives that Renaissance feel. The gold right on the edge of the green, it really kind of elevates it into it makes it feel Nature. Like kind of like more like French Renaissance style type of painting.
Oh yeah. That golden frame on the Mother Nature is a home run.
I'll show one more if you want to see it, but it's not anything related to sorcery. But I know this could be like a gateway drug. Yeah. But I posted this on the sorcery.
Yeah, wow, dude, it looks so tiny. Again, like another massive piece that looks so small in the picture.
Yeah, this is
wow.
Another one. If anyone wants to talk art, I'm Blue You on Discord. Just anything. Like I do a ton of art collecting anywhere.
Yeah, Blue You.
Yeah. But this is actually a really big emerging artist. She's super young too. Like her, I wish I recognized. She's so talented. But Hee-Jo Kim. Like all of her stuff, she's, I think, like 28, 29, but all of her stuff is going like 15, 20K now. And it's getting up there higher because of just the uniqueness of it. It has like that Pablo Picasso feel, but also she does a lot of identity abstraction with light, with visual images. And this is called Not Anymore. And I actually picked this up in Baltimore when we were doing the Sorcery Cup.
Yeah, you said you were going to the galleries. Nice.
Yeah, I was doing the gallery circuit in Baltimore.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, but that's all I have up here. I mean,
no, I appreciate that. Like the interesting thing, like taking it back to the game, the Mother Nature, like a lot of these pieces in Sorcery were inspired by the artist's work, obviously beyond the game. But I think like Eric leveraged a lot of existing comment. Like so, in some cases, he licensed the work that was done outside of the game, and he used that exact painting image for the card. But in a case like Mother Nature, that card was inspired by the painting that you purchased, which was done years ago prior to the game, not commissioned by Eric, but and she made it more fantasy like for the purpose.
Yeah, you showed this.
So that's a really cool connection.
Like that's an art book. So that's P.
There it is. Yeah, it's the cover of the book. That's the new edition, right? I don't have the new one. I have the older one.
I think so. I think it's the new edition, and then this is the one that Mike's talking about.
Yep.
Inside her fancy book.
Yeah, and that's really cool too because I think that other like facing the inside of the jacket, the front cover page. I think
Yeah,
I don't know how she did that. If that was like another piece she painted to kind of pair with it to create
I
that
think
effect, or
so.
yeah,
She may have extended it, which I thought was really interesting. And what and when Severin, as kind as she is, she put little sketches in the books for me when I bought these, like this.
yep, yeah, I have that too. I love that.
Yeah, I know you got a lot of these too, Mike. But she's just so generous. Like,
Yeah,
um, that's all. But here's the color one inside that one. Real, but
yeah.
yeah, when we pick up like that stream you do when you do that like 10, 15. If you ever do one, I'd be pumped to see it. I'll be
What
like,
stream?
if you ever do all your framed paintings when you get them back,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
that'd be a wild one.
Yeah,
Um,
one thing I was asking Ron, like when he's gonna do he's gonna do another show, right, in Baltimore. Like we're talking about location. I was like, hey man, have you considered like DC or like Arlington would be really cool. Try to get
oh,
outside of the city if
yeah,
there's a
yeah,
venue. But like anyway,
yeah.
I was trying to feel him out for a date because there is my thought was I have like a lot of Andrea Modesti pieces and Severin. I think those are the two artists I have the most of, and then there's
Yeah.
several other artists I have just one or two. But I could have like a Modesti or a Severin like showcase where I reveal them all or I display them all in like a room if people were interested in that. Or maybe I could just rent a venue and have my own kind of event if people wanted to come and see it. I don't know. Because it's hard.
Yeah,
Like it'd be
let
so
me
much better
know.
to see them in person, right? Maybe we can
Yeah,
collaborate on that and make that happen somehow.
yeah.
That'd be
If
cool.
you're, especially in the DC area, I can help.
Do you
So
have
that
the
that would be.
Mother Nature one? Well, the guy that bought the Mother Nature from Sorcery just joined the chat. So it'd be cool
Oh yeah,
if
I
you could
can.
show him again.
Yeah, sure. I can show you real quick.
Yeah. So he just showed the painting he bought from Severin outside of the game that he just showed from the book. He bought the original painting. To Fluent. This is unbelievable. He's got amazing gold frame on it.
I'm
There
like you,
she
Mike.
is.
Never burning the midnight oil, always working. But you get to
Yeah,
buy art because of it, though.
it's so freaking stunning. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to see,
Yep.
but it's the eyes that do it for me more than anything else.
Yeah, her
Just,
facial features and expression are really like beautiful, elegant, and striking. Fits nicely with the amazing nature scene and the colors. So good.
sweet.
She's so good. Yeah, that's great.
Yes. I wish I had the talent, but unfortunately, mine is only making. Um, well, I'm not even good at that. I'm
You have
making
good
dollar.
taste. You know how to pick the frames. There's an art to framing as well too. I've learned. Just having like the art history sense and understanding the different genres and eras, like you're always talking about. Like you can go for impressionist or realism or like all the different like Renaissance style, like more old fashioned, or like it should be displayed in a castle versus more modern. It's really hard when you're choosing a frame because a lot of these paintings like could fit in any direction, and it really comes down to personal taste. And then when you own like several pieces, it gets even more complicated. Like how are you going to display them? How will they look next to each other, or like as a collage type display? It's really hard.
I was I just sound completely pretentious, but I think I said too. There's two lives to a painting: one when it's painted and one when it's framed. And sometimes the answer is not to frame it at all, but the you look at it and then you create that sense of feel and life to it. Like that Dream Quest one, that well, it looks completely different with and without it.
Yeah.
Like before, I think it could have been a great enthusiast piece, and after, I think I could actually like pitch it to a gallery and be like, "Oh, we may actually think about it." Um,
Yeah. Right.
it's interesting how a frame can change the life of it.
Yeah, like the Avatar of Fire when I had that
Yeah, that
unframed.
was great. That was
I
great.
mean, just like putting that in that frame, it was just the perfect choice with the dark black. It was like a intricate black. It had like a design within it, but then it had that gold kind of inner part on the frame, the wooden frame piece itself, and it
Yeah,
just accented it and paired with it so well. Really like brought it to another level. I felt. I don't know.
that was a match made in heaven. It just belonged there.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yep. So we're struggling with the Avatar of Air. We got to get that one straightened out next.
Oh, it's gonna look so good though. I'm
Yeah.
just yeah, whatever. When it's right, it'll feel right, and then I think it's gonna blow people away. So,
Yeah.
uh, well, thanks for having me on your stream, Mike. Just
Yeah,
hop
man.
on. I'm gonna. I have a few more things to take off the walls and rush downstairs before the next hour, but
All right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Take care of that so you don't ruin your stuff. Those
thank you.
brushes.
And for anyone who wants to talk art, like Boo You on Discord, just it's a passion of mine. I think it should be bought and then shared. I also do like lending contracts, and I have a ton out on lend across like galleries that I try to work with and bring on. So if you're ever interested in learning more about that world, let me know. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure everyone has growing collections in their own way. Right.
Yep.
Thanks, Hal.
Yeah,
Have
appreciate
a
it,
good
man.
one.
Yeah,
Talk to
great
you
to see
soon.
you.
Thanks,
Thank
Mike.
you. That was awesome. That was a special treat. So I'm gonna show a few things, guys. Um, so I got a few things here. We only got 23 people. I'll just do it. Should I just do it? Why don't you a few people like the on the YouTube there? Nobody watches the lives. Nobody cares about live. I want to. It relates to Vegas Sorcery Con. So there's something that I would like to show you guys if I could figure out how technology works here. Let me see here. Oh, I already have the extra camera. I'm such a moron. It's painful being dumb. It's hard. It's a hard way to live, guys. Don't be dumb. Don't put your cell phone in the picture. All right. So was there another bid on this? I think someone just bid on the easily. Someone already won this one. I'm gonna show you some art in a minute, but first, I should have rebooted. I know it because I'm getting a little laggy. This one just closed tonight. It was right. Somebody just won this, the Marta Molina piece, and then I have the Zephyrin airship. I'll show you guys the Zephyrin airship painting, which is live for auction until Sunday, but also live that just went live tonight is so Jeff Easley. Everybody knows Jeff Easley, right? He was massive in the TSR days. He did like all not all the art, but like a ton of art for Dungeons and Dragons. You know, like the player's manual and all this stuff. So his art's like everywhere, and he does these dragons like masterfully. And he did this. This is only a second artist proof that was offered. It's such an honor to work with such a legend. I had the same feeling when I worked with Rodney Matthews. You know, he's such a massive legend in the art industry. So it's really an honor to be able to collaborate with Jeff Easley to offer these. And this is just a really incredible. It has like extra meaning. You know, I trashed the West East Dragon as a curio idea so badly. And then ironically, I don't know if Jeff knows. I bet Jeff has absolutely no idea that there is a West East Dragon that's a curio. Because he's just like he just paints all the time. You know, he just does art like all the time. So he doesn't. I think he knows very little about the game itself. So we have the East-West Dragon, and then of course in beta there's the West-East Dragon where it was just inverted, and the dragon's looking west to east. And then hilariously and ironically, this dragon is looking west to east, but it's a red dragon, right? And it looks like again like it's right out of a D&D manual, or it could be like a book cover for some fantasy novel or something, right? The way it's like perched on the ridge here as it's kind of like gazing over the realm, and then I love like the choices down here too, like the colors, and just it has like kind of like a fantasy like map, like a mappy earth map type vibe to it. And then kind of like the clouds, the texture of the piece, the detail of the dragon, all of the different color choices in the ledge. Just a freaking awesome piece. So that's a 1 of 29 technically. You know, 25 that Jeff has, and then 4 more that went to the top pledge tier that's ending Sunday night. So I feature like big auctions, typically like really high end items on the weekend. So we did a Jeff Easley, the first one last week of the Heat Ray, and this is the first East West Dragon to be offered by him. And then I just have one more from him for now that'll come later. And then hopefully he'll do more. I mean, he's in very high demand and very busy, so I'm not sure how often he'll be able to produce these and offer these. So it's a special treat. And what I wanted to talk about was, well, actually, let me show you the Zephyrin painting. Yeah. This will be fun, guys. So first I'll show you the airship. So the airship is going to end. This is also live for auction. I think we started it last night, Thursday night, and it's going to end Sunday night. It hasn't hit the reserve yet, but this is another amazing artwork by Marta Molina, right? The Zephyrin airship. So if you pull up collectorarthouse.com or one of the websites that shows the cards for the game, you just go to TCG Player if you want. Look up the Zephyrin airship, and what you'll notice is that it has like a much darker, deeper, toned down color palette to it, and a lot of the beauty in the bottom that really rounds out this piece beautifully is covered by the text box. So and the game mechanic box, of course, is much larger. It's fairly non-impact because this is like a light muted color at the top where you have the title box, but at the bottom where you have the game mechanic box, seeing the original painting and getting a full appreciation for the color blending she did on the bottom of this piece is really awesome. And then the detail of the airship itself looks incredible on the actual piece too. You really do lose an appreciation for that too. Look at that. Look at just the airship itself. The care and detail, the just geometry of it. I mean, is just so well done. It blows me away. I don't know how these artists do that. The creativity and the geometry of like the structure of this airship and some of the choices with the fire plumes kind of keeping it afloat and keeping it sailing over the realm there, and some ribbons hanging off the sides. It's freaking awesome. It looks so good. And it's like a nice practical side. Like I tend to buy these like big ass pieces. These massive paintings, right? And I'm gonna get slapped in the face with a hard reality soon when they start coming back from the frame shop and I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna hang these. But this is a great size, a more practical, typical size you would see in TCGs, about a little over 8 inches by 11 and a half or so. So you typically frame it to the edge, get rid of the white border. It's rarely a good idea to leave the white edge when you frame. It usually doesn't look as good because you can take like a real nice frame right to the edge here, and it really looks beautiful when you go right to the edge of the painting, and it makes it look more cleaner lines, and you could add a matte, to accent different elements of the painted piece itself, and just kind of shape it to your liking, and it gives it a whole new life, like Philip was saying. He's got the life of the original painting, and then it takes on a second life, depending on your frame choices when you tailor it to your particular tastes and interests. So that's a really great piece. That's going to end Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're on the Sorcery Contested Realm community Facebook group or the Collector Art House Discord, that's where you can bid on that. And if you guys would please join the Sorcery Contested Realm community Facebook group. There's a lot of guys that hate Facebook and don't want to be on Facebook, and they join just for that community group because there's a lot of great content. We're all kind of active in there every day talking about sorcery, and you get to see a lot of artwork like this because I'm selling it all the time. And I think I've sold over 50 paintings, which is absolutely incredible just to be able to see all those from Sorcery's debut. What is that? I don't want to do some quick math publicly, but a significant percentage of Sorcery Alpha that I've gotten to see. All right, so let's see here. Oh, should I do it? Hang on here. What is up here? Look at this. This has got the wild things laying around. This is the original sketch for Keith Era Mechanism. I didn't realize that was over there. That's pretty wild. See, we were just talking about Severin PNU 2020. It's a huge sketch. It's like the size of the Keith Era Mechanism itself. But there it is. So the Keith Era Mechanism, what's really interesting, it's a more simple sketch. It's not finished, right? And we're going to get to a story on that in a moment. But you see, like the leaf, if you remember in the Keith Era Mechanism, the leaf is much wider down here. So when she filled in the detail and painted this, these sketches are not fully matured. It's like a rough, templated like outline of the concept that she's going to do. And then she fills in the details. Sometimes she'll further mature the sketch, or other times she'll just go into the painting and she'll paint out the detail. So when I purchased the original painting of, at the time it was called Predestination, and now it's called Keythera Mechanism, of course, in the alpha debut. But she still had to sketch at that time, so I negotiated like working that into the deal for an additional cost, just for the like history of it. I thought it'd be really cool. I could take out my AirPods now, to have the matching sketch for the historical novelty of it, right? Um, and I actually have like many sketches from Sorcery that I've collected from various artists, which is really cool because I just love the history of it, and it tells a story. Like this was the original orientation of the piece, kind of the making of it, not fully matured just yet. And then when Eric used it for the game, he decided to flip it. This was Eric's choice, and then Severin, ultimately thought it was a great idea and really bought into that too. But when she filled in the color detail, there was like an eye element here, and you see that is an eye, right? Right here, that became very predominant, like prevalent. The way she colored that in the image, it really stands out. And then this leaf was more pronounced, so that looked more full. And then he also inverted it right to left, so it was like flip this way and flip this way. But the original is like this, so it's a little different. And you got the history of it. I have it at the frame shop right now, so I can't show the original painting, but that's really cool. All right, guys. This is pretty sweet. I've never shown this before. So, as my everyone wants to buy into alpha pack breaks all of a sudden now. I really wanted to be doing the alpha break. So when I started my, let me show. I'm going to be talking a little bit here, so I'll show some art while I'm doing that. When I started like my sorcery journey and experience, I was talking about a little while ago. Like I was really into the all of the art at first, and I thought the best way to approach that would be to try to get a full set of the alpha set. But then I really got lucky getting into that top pledge tier of the Avatar pledge tier, because I had a kind of a built-in complete master set between the artist proofs non-foil cards and the foil uncut sheets. So I was kind of satiated in that regard, and I started really getting into the paintings, acquiring original paintings, and then doing interviews with the artists. And then, as I built relationships with the artist, it became like a natural fit to leverage the platforms and the communities I had grown to try to help them offer their artwork to sorcery fans. So that's kind of how the auction platform and system kind of emerged naturally, and then Patreon, where I'm able to offer special deals and sales and different things at Collector Art House Patreon. So I kind of like got into the working with many artists, right? And now I'm at a juncture where like I've worked with I think like over half of the alpha sorcery artists, probably 2/3, like a vast majority. And it's been wonderful. It's great because I got to see so many original paintings, just seeing them, like I'm always like so conflicted and torn selling these artist proofs and the original paintings as well, because like I want to own this stuff myself, but I can't possibly practically afford it all of it, obviously. And it's great to kind of share it and for others to acquire it too. But now like I'm at this stage where I'm trying to showcase and promote the artists, help them grow interest in their work beyond the game, and find opportunities such as the collaboration I did with Bearish recently. But before I get to that, I want to talk about altars. So I'm also trying to discover some of the best altars in the industry, altarists, people that do work on cards, that do altars, or people that maybe have not and are open to trying that. So at this point, like I've discovered like a handful of artists that I was super impressed with and really wanted to collaborate with to bring their artwork to sorcery fans who are really starting to grow an appreciation for paintings, for artwork in general, on cards and beyond, right? So I think who was the first? Was it Vivian Calazans? Because she does a lot of MTG altars. She's the wife of Kyle Calazans. They're both very talented, great artists. Kyle did work for Sorcery. His wife does altars. So we've offered a lot of Vivian altars. But then Atlas Thorn, like I was when I saw his stuff on Instagram and at various pages, absolutely blown away at the guy's talents. Absolutely amazing. And not just the quality and the detail. Like, do I have an Atlas Thorn? Let me see. So I haven't shipped this one yet. He started like offering the sketches with it too, right? And now the sketches are amazing too. And he sends me all of the work in progress sketch pieces, but his concepts are freaking incredible. So like when you have the altars and the artist proofs, they do a wholly. I insist with all of the artists I collaborate with that they do not retain any element whatsoever of the original cards art because I want to respect the copyright and the integrity of the original artist vision and not retain any of that and have like another artist just kind of tweak it and adjust it and then claim that new um, art piece as their own. So what I've done is like I always insist like, hey, I was like, I'd love to help you. I want to showcase your work. We've got 4,000 plus people on the Sorcery Contested Realm community page. There's about 1,300 in the Collector Art House Discord. Another 100 some on Collector Art House Patreon. I don't know. On the YouTube channel, what is it at 1,600? So it's like call it six to 8,000 across all the pages. I have all these other Facebook groups too, and the website, right? So all these different platforms, it creates an amazing opportunity for these artists that really very rarely get this opportunity to showcase their work to a fan base that really appreciates it, is really starting to appreciate art in general, which is great because a lot of them can go and they go on Instagram, they go on Facebook, and they just get buried in a sea of just many artists. It's very diluted and it just gets lost, right? And there's many different viewers, like when I do a YouTube video, I don't know, a lot of people are just haters and shit talkers and stuff. Like they don't care about my stuff, right? I'm not always resonating with the right market that actually cares with what I have to say or what I want to show or, sharing my passion, my interest aspect of it. So it's really great for these artists who are into this style of art to have those platforms to showcase their work. So I'm trying to discover more and more artists who are really top notch. And so there's Atlas Thorn, Dustin Brossard, Vivian Calazans. There's another artist in Europe that just mailed out 3 artist proofs. I'm super excited about this artist's work that's going to be coming probably in like 2 weeks or so by the time it gets here. There'll be some auctions of this particular artist. Another person that's working on honing his craft. That's also where's he at? I want to say he's in Canada. So another overseas. The shipping is brutal, man, from these places. And yeah, Alice Thorne. Like this piece is just like so phenomenal and so different, right? It retains nothing from the original. It's just a completely reimagined take on the Doomsday Prophet. The Doomsday Prophet by Doug Kovacs is entirely different. This is Alice's vision. It's a great concept, and it's just like so incredibly well executed. It just looks unbelievable. 6 altar stamp. Any new art from the guy who made the mix altars and the cat? Yeah, this is him. This is Atlas Thorn. So I currently have, I do have a few more from him. Unbelievable pieces, guys. All different styles. Like his vision, his creativity is just like out of this world, and his ability to put brush to cardboard, and like create something of such top-notch quality that looks like a picture. It looks like this is a scanned image, right? This is actually painted. It just looks too good to be true. The detail on it is just unbelievable. Yeah, Atlas Thorn. Sounded like Alice. Yeah, Atlas Thorn. So he's great. I went on a tangent there. So as I'm working with these artists, trying to discover altarists, who I think the community would love and appreciate, and it's an opportunity for fans, but also obviously an opportunity for the artist to showcase their work on a grander stage. And then what happened with where's the bearish stuff? Bearish stuff. I got some bearish cases around somewhere. It was in a box. I don't know, guys. It might be on the shelf. So the Bearish acrylic cases. These guys like have the best product. They were at the Sorcery Spring Social in Baltimore. Got a lot of buzz and attention there, and their product's just top notch for Sorcery, right? So they I forget if I reached out to them or they reached out to me, but they wanted to like rebrand Bearish, and they asked me like, "Hey, Mike, do you know any like artists, maybe an artist from Sorcery who might want to help us rebrand?" So I thought about it, and I was like, "Well, it's like a naturey type thing." I knew Severin is like, I was like, "Guys, you got to go Severin," because for one, I knew she would have the time to do it, and she would be. I had a good feeling she would be interested in taking on something like that. I know she painted cats phenomenally well, and as it turned out, she had never done bears before, so she kind of liked the challenge of that. Um, but given that she could do cats so well and she's done so many of them just out of personal interest, I figured she would do bears great as well. They were looking for a bear concept, and I was like, well, she did the Philosopher's Stone. She has the artwork for the biggest card in Sorcery, and this would be huge for the bearish brand if you're serious about Sorcery to get the Black Lotus of Sorcery, right? The Philo Stone artist. So that's how we settled on or selected Severin. So it was a great opportunity for her to get a commission outside of the game, and I thought it was going to be like just one for their primary logo, but they had this brilliant idea to commission a beer that fit the theme of each of their products and each of their product lines. So they have one for Sorcery, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, One Piece, I think Lorcana. Yeah, they had Lorcana. That was a great concept, and I might be missing one. It's like 7 games. Um, so we worked out a deal. Like initially, I was gonna like be a retailer for them and help them sell their cases. And I was like, you know what, guys, like I got a lot going on. There would be I have an opportunity cost to my time where if I don't have time to be integrated in my own Discord in the Sorcery community group, talking about Sorcery, talking about the artwork of the game, writing articles, the behind the art features, doing videos when I can. If I was like grappling with a lot of logistics of selling a product, like a transactional thing, like just selling cases, it just wasn't for me. It would have done a disservice to the artists that I'm trying to help promote the game and foster community and stuff. So I was like, why don't we just do an affiliate deal, and I'll offer a discount code, 5% to the public and 10%. Like I worked it out. I was like, I want to offer a larger discount for Patreon supporters to try to give back to them. And like if they're buying those cases anyway, it kind of pays for itself for the membership. That discount equates to like free membership in the Patreon, right? So they get the other benefits, they get the cases at a great price, and then I get support through the Patreon. So it's like a win-win-win, right? So that's the way we worked it out, and we have the deal. It's in the comments of the video if you guys are interested in bearish cases. But when they did I didn't know they did this, right? They commissioned like a bear for each game, and then I think Severin sent me the several prints, so I help her sell her prints as well. It's a lot easier here in the US for her to send me, like a dozen prints, right? And then I sell them through the Patreon and my Discord and let people know they're available or whatever. And so she sent me Time Stop, the Elemental Avatars, and the Philosopher's Stone. And with that package, she really surprised me here. I didn't know. I don't think the Bearish brothers knew this, nor myself. I had no idea. But this was included in the package as a gift for me for helping her find that opportunity to do that commission, which she's so proud of and so pumped that her artwork, part of the appeal when I approached her, I was like, your artwork is going to be on the best acrylic cases in the industry. And like all the Sorcery fans are going to buy these. It's going to catch on with Magic. It's inevitable, because the product's like so good. It speaks for itself. And once people have them in hand, they're going to tell each other, and they're all going to be like proud of their collections, and displays will be all over Facebook. Trust me. And it's starting to happen, right? Like, because people just started getting their deliveries in the last month or two. And so her art is like being seen everywhere because of the logo, right? You're going to see Severin art identified with the Bearish brand, and it just spreads like wildfire. So anyway, she sent me these original sketches, this one large piece, right? And these are the original. These are the logos for the bear sketches, the concept, the detailed concept art for the different games. And this one here, of course, was the sorcery one, and it's the philo stone in the chest of the bear. So really great memoir, I guess, of sorts of that experience and that opportunity for Severin, for the Barish brothers, who are great guys who run a great business and have a great product that we're all going to enjoy. And then the other games, it's just like freaking awesome Severin art and a nice little message of thanks for Mike's studies for Barish with all my friendship. Severin, 2024. So very nice of her to do that. So now we need to talk about. There we go. It's grand finale time for those that have stuck in there for an hour and 10 minutes. They'll never get this far in the video to see this. As Rudy always says, well, you say at this point it doesn't matter because nobody's watching. So I got to go to the website really quick to tell this story, and then maybe we'll wrap it up after that. So let me share my screen again. And you're going to like this one, guys. This is pretty slick. So if you go to the collectorarthouse.com website, and again, I was telling you earlier about Sorcery Behind the Art, right? www.collectorarthouse.com. You go to Sorcery Behind the Art, and you have images of these cards, right? And these are all clickable, and every one has an article that I wrote about the historical context of how this card came into being and how the illustration, the artwork, the painting came into being based on the Eric's idea and then ultimately the artist's idea. And so there's a lot of work I did here. It's pretty wild, actually. As you keep scrolling, there's so many. Man, put a lot of time in. A lot of people just freaking call me a scumbag stonker for some reason, But like I am into the game, right? I freaking I spent like an insane amount of hours producing content and stuff over the past 2 years, and that's why I love the art so much and the artists. So if you go to the elemental avatars, the 4 amazingly beautiful, iconic elemental avatars from the Kickstarter pledge. So each of the 4 top backers got one of the original paintings here of the elemental avatars. So I wrote this nice long article about the meaning of the 4 elements and how they relate to the painted illustration concept that Severin did for the art for the game. So if you come down to, here are the 4 pieces together, right? The 4 paintings. And then near the bottom, you have these. Take a look at this. See, the 4 sketches of the elemental avatars. So this is something that is like really close to my heart and special to me because I wrote this article. I don't know if it says a date at the top, man. I probably wrote this article and had to be 2022. Maybe the fall of 2022. It's been like almost 2 years. So all this time, right? It had to be because it was very early on. I was really into it. I knew I got the top backer tier. So I really took a liking to the elemental avatars and to Severin's work. And I talked to her about how she produced these. And she had these 4 sketches. And they were already sold to somebody in the community, right? And I was like, oh man, I can't acquire that, but I'm gonna get the original painting. I never told Severin, I never told anybody in the community until finally, like a year after the Kickstarter ended and finally fulfillment happened. I waited all that time. I had the painting like a while before that. They sent that before the alpha boxes were fulfilled. But I wanted to do a showcase alpha box opening with the artists, and I knew Severin was going to come on. So I waited and I showed her live. There was a great moment on the channel in the live section, if you look back, of when I revealed that to Severin live, the Avatar of Fire, and let her know. I don't know if she caught on with the language barrier and stuff on the spot in the moment there, that like how I acquired it. She probably just thought I bought it from somebody, but I was like, I was a top backer because I loved your work. I had to have this painting, all the cards and everything, and it was a great special moment. And then like we worked out writing up this article, and I discovered these sketches existed. of her initial concept, just like the Kythera mechanism that I just showed a little bit ago. And she told me about how the avatar of Earth, in her view, was kind of like the matriarch or the mother of these other three sisters, right? And I forget which is which. She said, like, she perceives some as older than others, like a big sister, middle, and youngest sister. But these sketches show that they're interrelated, right? I don't know if it's too small to see. Yeah, here you go. The zoom's great. All right, so you can see that like between the pieces, they're interconnected. And she said she perceived these women being connected as a family, a mother and the three daughters. And you could see that in the art sketch design where the art continues into the frame of the next piece, right? Even though it's a different element, it turns from air, the aspect of air and wind you get from these like kind of flowing movement like touches here, into fire, the flames coming off of the fire avatar, and then down here into the earth and the roots of this, the mother of Avatar of Earth, the Earth Maiden, and then the water elements and the splashing water lending way to the earth, to the air. It's all continuous and harmonious and interconnected, right? So these sketches, I was like, Eric, dude, have you seen that these sketches exist? Do you know that these sketches exist? Like they're detailed. I was like, these got to be curios. You got to make these curios. And this was well before alpha, so I really wanted him to make alpha sketch curios of the elemental avatars. So he did the sketch curios of the Eric's Curiosa. That was the big one in alpha, right? One of the huge hits. That, Frazetta, and one of these other toys here. Hang on. And this one. This is also a pretty good one here. Hang on. So there's that, and then there's this guy right here. This guy might be coming available. I don't know. It's possible. Pretty nice little card. Pretty nice one there. So anyway, the sketches. I was like, dude, you got to make these curios, these elemental avatars, because they look phenomenal, even as sketches. And it really would be like an amazing homage and throwback to these elemental avatars, which were like the face of the game for the alpha debut. And then lo and behold, that came to fruition. We have these now in beta. So these have like very important meaning and significance. And right from the beginning, they made a really big deal about this, because they were saying like those are exclusive to the Kickstarter. We're going to make the non-foils exclusive to the pre-con decks. And then for the foils, they're going to be in the booster box. There was some confusion about that early on. But the non-foils were exclusive to the pre-cons. The foils were exclusive to the booster boxes and the booster packs. And then they retired them completely. It was shocking. They came out and they said like they're only for alpha, and we're going to replace those elemental avatars. And there was always some uncertainty too, because he had said that he had commissioned 4 new elemental avatars outside of the 7 ones. We didn't know which artist would do it. And when they were going to be ready. He didn't even know if they would be ready for alpha. And I think he was really conflicted with, I think that played into ultimately Eric's decision on how to position these 7 PNU elemental avatars in the alpha debut. Because he was commissioning the other 4. I don't want to say concurrently, because the 7 ones were already done, but the other ones were not done yet. And he wasn't sure if they would get completed in time to include an alpha. So I think ultimately it was either cutting it too close and they were not ready, or he just consciously made the decision on, we just got to make the call here. We'll make the non-foils exclusive to the precons, and then the foils exclusive to the booster box. And then in beta, we will fully retire these 4 elemental avatars and replace them with the Francesca Berald elemental avatars of the 4 elements, right? So, yeah, so these have always meant a lot to me. And then an opportunity emerged where, out of pure coincidence, I don't know if it's because I had finally got in the avatar of air that this person presented himself, but I found the person that owns these sketches, and I was offering the avatar. First, one of the other top backers wanted to sell his avatar of air, right? And then, being cognizant of my auction service that I do through the Sorcery community group and the Collector Art House Discord and like the many paintings. I think that was the 50th painting that I offered at that time. He decided that he wanted to sell it through me, which is great. And it was the Avatar of Air, and that's the one I always kind of wanted. It was always my favorite of the four. I grew a real appreciation for fire. I got really lucky because I was the fourth. I couldn't pick. It was like in order that people snagged that tier, they got to pick. I got the Avatar tier because somebody dropped it, and I was super fast, and I picked it up, and I got so lucky that I was able to get that. But so as fate would have it, I got fire, and he picked air just before me, right? So finally, this person wanted to sell his air avatar, and so initially I was going to offer that, and then I kind of changed it, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to offer the fire, and I'm going to find a way to acquire this avatar of air. So I had to give up the avatar of fire. I got the air finally, fulfilled my dream. That's the one I always wanted. It's at the frame shop now. I still got to pick out the frame. I was like, I spent like 2 hours trying to find a frame, and I told the guy, I can't decide. I'm too flustered. I'm going to come back. You just hold the painting. I'll be back. Got to clear my head. So I'm still working that out, but I am the owner of the Avatar of Air original now. So I was offering that up. Someone came forward. He had the sketches, and let me show you something here. All right. All right. I don't know if, yeah. Hey, will it work with the overhead cam? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we have enough real estate room here to make this work. Who's hitting me up? All right, guys. So here's the beauty of this. Here's the beauty of it. Not only was a epic opportunity and dream fulfilled, but this guy is super generous, right? So we worked out a deal. I acquired what I'm about to show you here, and he agreed to donate $1,000 to the artist fund for Sorcery Vegas Con. Vegas Sorcery Con. Call it whatever you want. Vegas Sorcery Con, $1,000 for the artists to bring artists to Vegas Sorcery Con to engage with all of the sorcery community. Incredibly generous act to do this by this person. It's not me. It's him. I bought some art, and he was like, $1,000 of that? Artists. Mike, bring the artist to the people. He said, $1,000, you use it, pay for the airfare, whatever you got to do. Let's make it happen. So we have 6 artists confirmed, and we're trying to bring more. Right? We thought we could budget for like 10, but it's like really tight, right? And like it gets tight. It's based on projected ticket sales. And I was like, I told the other committee guys, I was like, I'm gonna come up with some ways. Like we're not gonna turn any artist down. Any artist that wants to come, it doesn't matter on the ticket sales. Ticket sales are gonna help a lot. It's gonna help a lot. But I was like, I will do things and find ways to fundraise. This guy stepped up, man. Super generous, $1,000 from this guy. I almost get choked up thinking about this guy's generosity. It's just a very touching thing to do. $1,000. It's not trivial. That's gonna help so much. That's like that could probably cover like airfare for 2 domestic artists. Like really help close the gap for an international artist. I mean, it makes a huge impact, huge difference. Everyone should be like so grateful to this freaking guy. Because we get to go. We're the ones that get to go see the artist. I don't even know if he can make it to the show. He might not be able to come, but he's like, doesn't matter. You bring him out there. People should enjoy art, have a good time, meet artists. This guy's a huge collector. He's like Philip, great guy, super nice, super generous with his time, with his money, sharing his collection. It's amazing. So, anyway, he was also super generous in another way by giving this up and allowing me to purchase this from him. And this is really special, guys. You're gonna be impressed. You already know what it is. Here we go. Look at this. There they are, guys. Oh, wait. I'll show you in a minute. All right, so I was like, these sketches, I was like, Severn, I know you sold them. I'll never see them. You know, I was like, let's recreate the magic. I forget, it was after the cure. I was like, look, Eric, I don't know if he did my idea. There's two things that could have happened. Either Eric liked my idea of these sketches for the curios in beta, or I guessed. I guessed it. I was like, these got to be curios. So I guessed it. Either way, pat on the back, pat on the back. I sound like a cocky prick. But anyway, I was like, we got to reinvoke the magic, Severn, because I don't know if it's going to happen. I was like, why don't you resketch the avatars? You know, it's supposed to be the matriarch, right? Earth, down here. The matriarch and the three daughters. So she did this sketch concept, and she completely recreated this. This is a recreated sketch of the 4 avatars on one piece, and I was like, let's show the continuity. Let's just reinvoke the sketch, just like we saw it on the website with the 4 together and showing the harmony. You see, like when we were just going over that on the website, how they're connected here. Look at the lines, just like we saw. You know, the connectivity between the 3 daughters and the mother. Down here, up here, down here. It's all connected and feels like this circular motion movement interconnectivity. And then we kind of thought like, well, let's bring the Ouroboros into it. And like to de-emphasize the Philosopher's Stone, we won't make that like the elaborate stone. It's really not the focal point per se. This is a symbol of unity and continuity in the middle with the Ouroboros, right? And then it's just a darker stone. This became the Eclipse Stone concept eventually, because she did this just like sketched originally. And she was like, you know, Mike, I don't know. It doesn't feel just right black and white. It just doesn't feel finished. It felt unfinished to her, right? So she was like, I'm going to experiment with some color. So she started like doing some color. You know, you see some color on here, right? Just color accents. It's hard to come across because it doesn't quite fit on the screen. Filthy Casual, how you doing, buddy? So she added some color, and it really started coming together beautifully. And this resulted in the Philo Eclipse embellished print concept. We sold all these already, guys. I'm sorry, they're not available anymore. It was a limited series that had the 4 avatars and the stone. So this was the original like creation of that. Is a project that we did together. Great piece of history and something that I love. And I thought this was the closest I would ever come to the Elemental Avatar sketches. I thought that was it for me. But there's been a lot of fateful moments, you know? A lot of moments of chance, fate, luck, destiny. It feels like destiny in a lot of ways, the way things come together sometimes. So from this super generous community member, donates $1,000 to SorceryCon Las Vegas to bring more artists coming out. They're coming out, baby. And we're not done yet. There's more coming, all right? 6 artists, record number of artists at this event. And there's more to come. So everybody, please come to Vegas. Please come to Vegas. Like the freaking video. Write a comment. Just write any comment up in there. Now, later, if you're watching it back, slap a comment in there so people actually see it. They come in an artist, all right? So now, these are the original sketches. And you know what I noticed here? So I was able to purchase these. I now own the 4 Elemental Avatar original sketches from Sorcery Alpha. And look at these. When I saw these, I was absolutely stunned and blown away. I was like, what is going on here? Something's not adding up. Because when I saw this on the website, this just looks like very sophisticated, mature, and refined for a sketch. It just looked like it had a little something extra. So the next day I was like, hey, Severn, what is the deal here? Like, you had the sketches that are on the website we did for our article. And then I'm noticing like the snake, it has some more, detail, some more sketch detail, more full, more filled in, more sophisticated looking. So what she told me is that she had these are those original sketches, right? And then she scanned them, she imaged them, she shared them with Eric for the approval to move forward with the design and to paint those for the concept for the game. But when this person purchased these, when he expressed interest in purchasing these sketches, and this is a guy that's huge art collector and art fan. He's been a fan of Severin for, I think he said like since the 80s or something, or 90s. Like, I don't know what it was, a long time. I mean, maybe he said 10 to 20 years. I don't know. 80s, 90s, that's a long time ago. But like long before Sorcery, he knew about Severin. He was a fan of hers. He's commissioned her before. He owned some of her work. So she knew he was a fan. And now I'm starting to realize and come to find out this is how some of these people grab this stuff so early. Before the game, they're not really TCG art collectors per se. They just knew the artist, right? So they had the beat on these. So she was like, "This is a great collector. Supported me. I'm gonna put a little more work into these sketches and just refine them a little bit, right?" So these are those original sketches that we see in the curios, but she did a little more work on them to really enhance them and make them look like really mature, sophisticated pieces, right? So that's it. These are the originals, and they all look phenomenal. All 4 of them here. Now this one's interesting. The face on this of the avatar. So now I own the Avatar of Air. The facial structure looks a little different because of the shading. But the butterflies and the birds. I mean, this as a finished painting, it's just absolutely beautiful. It's always been my favorite. I'm partial to blue, so it always just kind of resonated strongly with me. Take a look at the Avatar of Earth, man. And like when you look at the sketches, it went end to end, right? Because like when Eric makes this a card, he's not going to leave all this void space at the top and bottom and the sides because it's a full art card. It's full art, so it's cropped. So it's more fitted to the image, and that looks great too. Actually, look at that. As I do that, I'm like, damn, maybe I should frame it like that instead of leaving the extra space. But the extra space almost gives it like maybe because it gives it like a feel like it is kind of framed on a back palette. It feels more centered and balanced in a way. But you could also accomplish that with a frame and crop this. That'll be a choice I'll have to make, I guess. I'll probably frame it to the edge. I don't know. I'll have to really think about that and see how they could each be potentially cropped or just kept the same size. But it's larger, it's more full, it's a more mature and complete sketch. And there it is. Zoom a little bit. That looks really great. Yeah. Yeah. The guy I bought these from, I was trying to get him on, but he's still working. Sending me some Severin stuff. I guess I'll watch it back later. But here you go, the Avatar of Water sketch. Great, man. It's just a great it's a great piece of history. It's great. It's a very special thing to own as such a fan and friend of Severin. She's one of the first. Her, Elvira Shekarova and Severin Pino, first 2 artists I work with in Sorcery. So, they both mean a lot to me. They're great. They're great women in Sorcery. Great ladies, artists. Freaking amazing talents. Like absolutely freaking incredible. Like the stuff they're doing is out of this world for this game. It's making such a profound impact. Such major pieces, but just like, I mean, the elemental avatars are unreal. The knights that Elvira's doing, the mixes, I mean, are freaking insanely good, so stupidly good. Like I can't even comprehend it. And then the knights, like the Sir Tristan knight, the freaking knight is absurd. But look at this thing. Here we got the water, we got the earth, we got our 4 ladies, guys. Look at that. Look at what a beautiful thing they own. Look at that. I'm a completely out of control addict with the art. I need more walls, more houses. Look like Rudy's house with all these antiques he's got all over the place and this Persian rug laying on the floor behind him. It's nice, guys. It's really nice. Yeah. What's we got here? I do have several more. Let's see. The time stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the top. I think I sold about 5 of these. There's about 5 left. It's a series of 30. And that's a piece of art, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Look at it. You don't see art like that in TCGs. You just don't. Why would you? How could you? It's not possible. It's just not possible. So we got some of those. $300 for those. Not bad. You know, these are affordable to get like a nice high-end print. This is a large print. Very, very big. I can't even fit it under the screen. But it's a nice size print. Beautiful quality. It's a no-brainer. What's in the box, they say? What else is in the box? I think I have boxes all around this. Smells like flowers somehow. I don't know why. I don't know why. Look at this philo stone. This is a little smaller, you see? These are $275 for these ones. I had them marked for the Baltimore event. I invented a table there and sold some of these. Look at this freaking... Look at that print. It's so good looking. It's ridiculous. It's not fair. It's not fair to other games. It's not fair to other galleries. It's not fair to the other galleries. As someone painted that one. That's nice, man. It looks like a real painting somehow. It almost looks like that's embellished. That's a real nice high quality print. So there's several more. Are these all 5? No. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 of the philo stones. Oh, this is this is a series of 30 as well. $275 for those because they're slightly smaller. And in these ones we tried to price a little more aggressively because it's the avatars. $250. Because like some people, they want to display a full set because it looks freaking unbelievable. So this is the last full set I have. I'm trying not to sell those as individual. Sometimes people just want to buy the individual avatar that they play with. But we tried to like make them more accessible at $250. So it'd be $1,000 to own and display a full set of all 4. And then look how absolutely stunning and amazing that looks. This art is unbelievable, guys. Avatar was picked first. Earth was picked second. Air was picked third. And then Fire is the one I ended up with. But I made the magic happen, guys. I scratched and clawed for 2.5 years. And finally, I own the original for this one. You know? If you're persistent, patient, I don't know. You just stay in the scene. You stay in the mix. You meet people. You find a way to make things happen. And the dreams come true. Amazing collection. Love it. Love the toys, too. The toys are fun, too. I don't know. If you're a toy guy, it's one of the best. The art's the best, though. Look at the art. Look at all the art. It's hard to beat the art. What else we got here? Let me see. Box. Alright, hang on. Got more stuff. This one here, guys. If you're into Marta, you gotta stay the course. You gotta stay the course for sure. This is the last embellished print that I have of the Marta series. Sold, there are 4 of them. Sold 3 of them. That's $500. This is a Geekly canvas. This one was the Geekly canvas, I think. No, it looks like it's on art. It's on art. I think it's a Geekly print. That's why the colors look so vivid. It almost looks like an original. But the penguin here is painted. That's the embellishment. And I think she did some. Yeah, you can see she did. You see the brush strokes. I don't know if it's coming across. You can see the brush strokes in the water as well. So she did all these embellishments up through here. Perhaps also in the sky. See? The palette kind of matches a little bit. And also, yeah, there's also some detail here in the water and the waves with the waterfall and the birds. But the flamingo is the big accent. That's a real nice piece. So this is only going to be a limited series of 10 I've already sold a few of these, and we did the alpha symbol as like a homage to Pristine Paradise, one of her biggest pieces in alpha. So, did I say a penguin? I thought I said a flamingo. It's a flamingo. I didn't say it was a penguin. Did I say it was a penguin? It's a flamingo. Pink flamingo. I don't know, man. You're the one who lives in Florida. You tell me. Anyway. There's the stories. Alright. Alright, guys. What else? What else? Got to? We're gonna have, let's see here. This guy is tough day dromedary. 350. There was that one. This is Vivian Calazans doing a take on Kaio's dromedary. I don't know. The princesses. You see this one here? Hang on here. You see this? Look at these frames here, guys. Look at these frames. A lot of people are loving these frames. It's really nice. The guy 3D printed these frames. And it's got this like holder right on the back. You know? It doesn't fit with a top loader. You got to take it out. And then keep it in the penny for protection. Right? And then there's this piece on the back. The frames I don't have for sale. It's a real nice guy in my Patreon that you know, I was befriended, and he was generous enough to give me. You gotta fit it in there. So just slide the card right in there without touching anything. Yeah, he made a bunch of these, and I was like, dude, those are sick. Why don't I don't know. I forget how. He just like, I'll send you a few. I was like, all right. He's like, I can't mass produce them. I don't got time like that, but I could send you a few if you want to, whatever, just check it out, mess around with it. And I was like, yeah, man. And he did that, and they're freaking amazing. So I was like, dude, why don't you do like a few in a different color a little bit? And it's like, you got red? I got a red dragon, you know? And yeah, they just look so awesome. Look at that. With the red dragon, that looks phenomenal. So, don't ruin a 1K AP. Yeah. That's why I was being so delicate with it as I slide it in. It slides right in, but there's like a lip on the back where you want to like, you see there's, I don't know, you're not going to be able, yeah, you see how it's like kind of groove there? So you just got to press it out and then slide it in. But then it fits like, it's perfectly sized. It fits effortlessly in there, and it looks amazing. Let me see here. You guys, let's talk about your questions and what's up. Are you ever going to auction off those Modesti APs, or are you keeping those for yourself? Oh, those Modesti, that was my personal collection, yeah. The Modesti ones. I did ask, Andrea's like an amazing guy. I really like hit it off with him and kind of forged like a friendship with him as well. Because I've written about a lot of his work, his artwork and stuff, and I bought a lot of his paintings, or at least a few. And I offered. I was like, hey, man, I was like, there's a lot of interest in artist proofs, and I know it's difficult for you to sell from Italy. He lives in Italy, in Pavia. And I don't know, with like tax laws and stuff, he only wants to sell like periodically. He can't really be selling all the time. Something about that. I don't really know all the details. But he said like he can't do it right now. So I think he's like really busy, honestly, commissioning, like doing paintings for Eric and stuff. It's the taxes, the logistics of it, the time to do the work. I think he's got some health things and stuff, you know, that limit him. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't know. Yeah, he can't make them available right now, but I hope someday he can, because I'd love to help him out in doing that. I'll see you, Dan. Later, man. Divisive bastard. Divisive. All right. I'll never forget the guy who posted an Alpha Black Lotus near mint and slid it across his table on the sell post. How do you do that in a post? I missed that one. If you adjusted to have a top loader fit, that would be hands down the coolest card frame. Yeah, the frames like look great. The thing is with the top loader, I mean, look at a card in a top loader. You kind of see it, right? Like when you look at this easily through the top loader, you see the top loader. It's not coming across on camera too well, but you can clearly see the penny in there. The top loaders oftentimes like look like scratched up or kind of like crusty on the outside. It's not as clean look as just having like a clean penny, a penny sleeve by itself. So I think it actually turns out it's a little more. I don't know. It would be better protection, but it displays a little better without it. But I could see it working. If you had like some nice high quality top loaders, and you kind of cleaned it up and popped it in there, that would look pretty sweet. Um, who's Locust? Locustnism. It's a funny name, man. Do you guys want to see the Modesty APs? Personal collection? Those are real nice. Filthy Casual, man. Thanks for watching back. What do you guys want to talk about? I kind of I kept the he had a video of it. I kept the I made the thumbnails talking about this is gonna be like a market discussion video, and I didn't really talk about that at all. I thought I might, but I didn't know what direction I'd go with it. I wanted to kind of show some stuff, and then I kind of got on a roll a little bit, talking about other stuff. But yeah, let me grab one of the binders. We could do Spellcraft, or let's do APs first. I don't know. Let's just grab the first binder that's around and see what's in it. The old alpha binders, man. Where are those beta binders? Truett stuff? I don't think I have any Truett stuff. Oh, these are the Spellcraft cards. There's a lot of great stories in here. We could talk about. There's a lot of glare in here too. We could talk about Spellcraft cards too if you guys want to. See, different artworks. Fiery Inferno, Brian Smith. There's a lot of history in here, guys, with these Spellcraft cards. There we go. There are artist proofs in here. Atlas. Yeah, we need the Atlas binders. Yeah, so what do I mean by see Spellcraft? Really cool. Before the name of the game was decided, they had these Spellcraft. Look at a Rolling Boulder. So Doug Kovacs did this artwork for Rolling Boulder. And it's a different artwork than Jesse Pilkus did, obviously, right? Oh. There we go. There's the boulder. Stay out of the way of this ordinary magic, it says. Choose a starting site and direction. The boulder rolls one step at the start of each turn. Oh, at the start of each turn. That's interesting. And deals 5 splash damage on squares it rolls to. Yeah. The Spellcraft are really awesome piece of history. They're super rare. There's not many of those in the world that people know about. That we know of is what I should say. All right, so I did get a set of Elvira Palakowska's. Should I? I have a painting in the basement, man. Show you guys the next one coming up. Yeah, so we got those. We got some Sudlow proofs. The Sudlows are blank backs, but they're the one-ofs a bunch. I have a bunch of the one-ofs, which is really cool. This was a great one by Tony, I guess Tony's going to Gen Con. He didn't even tell me that, man. Come on, Tony. Come on, man. Didn't even tell me about Gen Con. Maybe the company told him not to. The guy was tight-lipped about it. It was just announced by the company he's going to Gen Con. We'll see if we could drag him out anywhere else. But there you go. There's the Sudlow King of the Realm. That's a grail. So number 3. Magister, I think, got the number 1. I pulled the foil Alpha Stone for Magister in a very early box break. I was the first person ever to pull the Alpha Philo Stone on camera on YouTube in a break. How about them apples, baby? How's that for braggy time? That's right. Yeah. Hit it. Just like Philip. His first box, he hits the Alpha Philo Stone. For me, it didn't give me the addiction because I pulled it for somebody else. I pulled 2 for somebody else. I don't even own one myself. Except the uncut sheet. Except the uncut sheet, guys. So there you go. There are the Modesties. I love Modesty. So good. The Candlemass Monks, man. I don't know. It's one of my favorites from Modesty. Come on now. So who designed these binders? Who made these? Eric? Simon? Come on now. There you go. Candlemass Monks, number 2. There was a guy that beat me to it. The guy that actually I bought Spirit Destiny from. I bought Spirit Destiny and Highland Falconer from this guy. Yeah. I love this Monks. I own the original painting of this one. I got the original paintings. I prioritized the ones that I own the original paintings for when I was able to ask Andre if there's any way. You know, I was patient about it. It was like, whenever you can get to it, man. I'd love to have a few. At least the ones that match the paintings I own. So the Candlemass Monks, the Spear of Destiny, that's up there too. That's one of the top dogs. You know, as the story goes, I bought... it was a little expensive at the time, but I bought the Spear of Destiny and the Highland Falconer from this guy. He's a really super nice guy in Europe. He had to let him go. Something came up, and he had to let them go. So I was like, all right, man. He wanted to auction them, and I was like, you know what? I love Modesty. What are you looking for that? We worked it out. I was like, you know what? He needed the money, quickly for something. So I was like, I'll tell you what, I'll just buy them. And I'll take the risk. I'll keep one and I'll auction one. Right? And then maybe one will do well and it'll justify the other, right? But then when they show up, you can't let them go, right? Because I owned them at that point. It wasn't like a consignment deal at that point. Like I bought them and then I was going to keep one, auction one. But then they showed up. I was going to keep the Spear of Destiny. But then when I saw the freaking Highland Falconer, the original painting in person, that is a nice piece of art, guys. There's just so much detail. I was like, how could I let that one go? And it's a great card. It's a great painting. Now that I see it, I'm thinking there's another one with this castle kind of matches. Another one as a castle. It makes me want to go find that one and buy it too. I shouldn't though, guys. I gotta be disciplined here. I can't have them all. I already got a lot of paintings. Not so many walls. A lot of paintings, not so many walls. But I love this falcon. Originally, he did this falcon for me. The sketch falcon. I was like, you know what? I got to buy a painted falcon from you. I can't have just a bunch of paintings and then a sketch. It's not going to work. It's not going to work out. Give me the real deal on those ones. So he did that beautiful falcon. Different breed of bird. He's like, I hope that's okay with you. I was like, dude, look at that thing. It's okay with me. Don't ever worry about that. I was super fortunate here. The number doesn't matter so much, but since I own I do own the original of the Humble Village too. So that's a special one. And having the first artist proof of that is really awesome. Look at that. Stunning painting. I'm really excited about the frame that Philip and I worked together to pick for that one. I think that's going to be really beautiful. The spear and the falconer, we went with a simple wooden walnut frame, because the spear, it just needs like a simple wooden frame. And let the spear have the attention. It's a simple piece. You don't need a wildly intricate. It wouldn't work to have a wildly intricate frame with just like when your central element is the spear. The spear should be the focal point. It's the focal point of the card. It's the focal point of the painting. So we just went with a nice walnut frame, which matches really nicely with the stem of the spear. That's going to be really cool. All right, what else is on your mind, guys? Done a lot of show and tell here. Maybe people are bored to tears. I don't know. We've had about 20 to 30 people throughout. Edge of the World. Mikhail Nagy Paul. Great guy. Should have some random beta cards. These are not the promos. But what do you guys think about this unlikely alliance? I saw that painting in person, guys, and I was like, it's really nice. I think it's like one of the most sophisticated paintings by Asi. Probably the most sophisticated paintings. It stands alone beyond the game, in my opinion. And when you see this piece in person, as I have, it's large. It's really color palette is phenomenal. It's so good. And it's this one, and then like the lightning bolt, is it? Great. That's a great one. Love that. But this is that's a real sophisticated painting. Real nice one. We might see that come to market at some point. The Dispel, I own that one too. I almost bought this one. I was like, I can't buy them all. This one, I bought that one. This one, no. I was close. I was really close. I still might. Still might. So it's going to be a painful day to ship it off. So now what's in that other binder? Oh, yeah. So there's, I don't know, there's levels to this thing. Kind of tired. Look at these. Look at these frames, guys. There's sick frames here. So it's great for showcasing the APs. There's some blues too. We got some greens. I don't have a ton, but I got a decent amount. Different designs. Guy does a phenomenal job. Really creative. A lot of these are the same, similar. Maybe I will send one of these off to somebody someday. They're these three. What, I got 3 or 4 the same? I didn't even know that till just now. Slightly different print, but pretty comparable. I could give up one of those. Yeah, I got 3 of those. It's nice. It works great with the artist proofs. It will get stronger as cards, as more sets are released. You're talking about the Unlikely Alliance. Yeah, I think it does have a chance to improve. The thing is, the painting. What do you think about the painting, though, itself? The intrinsic merit of the painting and the concept. It's a great painting, man. I wish I had it in time to go to showcase it at Baltimore, because it's really great. So the plan with the Death Dealer here is a Grail. This is obviously a Grail. Goes without saying. I think this is going to be offered up. I'm tempted to just like sell some alpha cases and buy this card. But I don't know. I'm not like the biggest card guy. I really resonate super strongly with paintings more. So like to spend that kind of money on a card like this, for me, I would go for a painting. Even though this hits hard, man. It's really nice. The quality on this looks really good too. Death is your avatar's domain. This looks really good. This guy hit a home run with this. He pulled this early too, I think. What a card. The Death Speaker. It's dusty. How much? I don't know. I was gonna do like an open silent offers type thing. Maybe auction it, but I'd probably I think I talked to the guy, the owner of it. It's consignment. I don't own this one. I'm gonna probably put it out there for offers like we did with the Sir Tristan. Because it's like the Sir Tristan is like one of the biggest artworks in the game at this point. I mean, it's just so detailed and insane that it just made more sense to solicit private offers before taking it to auction. And when you have like a Grail card like this, which is arguably the biggest card in the game. I mean, some people would say the Alpha Philo Stone, but this is like one of the most rare and one of the most universally loved and iconic chase cards. So it's a really big deal. I don't know if Eric, I really wonder if Eric thought that this would be the standout, like, monster card, like it is. I mean, it has something to do with the fact that it's Avatar, but it's like for like a Brahm artwork, this isn't like top of the line for him by any means. This was like very early days. The work he's done is like insane. So it's like a simpler piece. I mean, the name Brom, it's like Gerald Brom, huge artist, right? Um, so it's got that going for it. I think the yellow, it just looks like so nice and striking on the card design layout for Sorcery. I would love to see some licensed Keith Parkinson chase cards. Yeah, John, I agree, man. He's so good. I posted that in the community group. That one picture that could work for Angels and Demons would be really amazing. I like this idea. Maybe they didn't want beta. This is what's going to happen, guys. I would hazard to guess that Eric did not want such a monster curio in beta that would compete with the monster iconic nature of the chase of alpha. And by doing so, that preserves a irrefutable, obvious delta value premium valuation for the alpha product, and it protects the value of the curios, the big time chase card curios in alpha, as opposed to beta. And then you'd have like a tiered, the beta would be worth less. Like even a lot of people think the Jihad or the Step curio with Crusade and Jihad by Truitt in beta is the top curio. But you see that one, what is it going for? Like 2.5K or so? Whereas the Braum, that's like probably a 5-figure card to a lot of people at this point. Just so rare. And there's been like validated sales points. At least one. Like I think there was the public one on eBay the guy went nuts for and spent like 11 grand. It was 8,000 England coins. The British pound. So it was like 11.5K USD. And then I sold one of these a while back for close to 5 figures. I think it stalled at auction at 7.3K, 7,300 I want to say, something like that. It didn't quite hit reserve, and then I closed the deal privately. So this will be the only third ever sale known publicly of this card. So it's like super rare. It's pretty incredible. But I think like intentionally by design, he did not introduce a Braum caliber surprise artist in beta to protect that premium in alpha. So getting back to my train of thought, I think he will do that. I think there's going to be a wrinkle where he will do that in Arthurian Legends. There's going to be a curio with a surprise artist that's going to blow us away. I want to make that prediction on the record right here. If it doesn't come true, I'm gonna end the channel. I'm gonna close the channel. It's over. It's over. That's it. No more channel. No more 2-hour streams. So it better happen. Let's see here. What do you guys think is the best? After the elemental avatar, Sir Tristan has to be the biggest that Eric doesn't personally own, right? I would say, yeah. I mean, art is. We don't know like the significance of Sir Tristan in this set yet, but art is subjective. Like it's such a substantial piece because the gilding is just so wildly over the top, and the panel, the window pane view of Sir Tristan and the multiple characters just looks like so over the top amazing, and when you see it in person. So yeah, I think that's one of like the biggest, most significant pieces of that. And then you're classifying a category that Eric does not own. So yeah, so that helps because it eliminates. He owns the Philosopher's Stone. He owns Eric's Curiosa. He owns the Francesca Berald Sorcerer. He owns a lot of like big time, unique rarity pieces. A lot of like really beautiful pieces. So what of the stuff he doesn't own? I mean, I own Kythera Mechanism. I think that's like an absolute monster home run card and painting. But the painting itself, is not as detailed, clearly, obviously, as like a Sir Tristan with the intricate gilding and whatnot. So it's a different kind of major significant piece. Whereas just based on the detail. But the avatars, the elemental avatars, are really big as well too. With detail, quality, it's oil on canvas, so it's very significant. It's pretty awesome. I don't know. Eric's Curiosa sketch avatars and step beta curios are huge. For beta, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not into the Eric's Curiosa. I didn't like that idea I thought it was too gimmicky to kind of just troll. I thought that was the troll job of, I don't know. It's one of the freaking troll cards of the troll curios of beta. You had the trolls in alpha, and then they tried to troll the community by saying like, "Oh, you guys think that the Eric's Curiosa is the card is not in beta? You think you got it right? You're going from 403 cards to 402 cards. Yeah, you guessed it. You think you guessed it? The Eric's Curiosa is not in there. Well, how about this Curiosa? I don't know. Get that shit out of here. I say. I'm not into that one. I didn't like that. Wasn't impressed by that. Thought it was a little too goofy. It's not for me. I'm sure they're very happy with it. Let me do one of these here. If you go to I got a curio page here, guys. So you just go to collectorarthouse.com, collector's corner, and then curio cards. You got the alpha gallery and you got the beta gallery. So if you just scan through beta, you got the 4 avatars, right? I should have had this up when I was showing the sketches. It would have been hard showing both though. You got the 4 avatars sketches. The Far East Assassin. That was cool. It was an alternate art. Sure. Severn Pinu. The Black Obelisk. I mean, this dude, guys, I made a big deal of this one too, right? The Omnipotence. I was the first person to notice Omnipotence. How about that one? No one knew. No one's like, oh, no one caught up on that word there. Omnipotence. That's big time word. There's a story behind that one. It's right here. So you click the card and then you get the story, right? The details. It's a Seagrave artwork, same artwork from Seagrave. A quote from Eric's Curiosa co-creator Nick Reynolds. Pretty early on, this is Nick Reynolds said this. Pretty early on, after Eric and I started working together, I kind of jokingly sent him this card called Omnipotence. And the card text was just, "You may." And he just seemed really tickled pink by that card idea. He really loved it. And we even started calling the game Omnipotence for a while. I think it really speaks to the vision of the game. We just really wanted people to have fun. Eric's response in a live YouTube event 1 year ago, and we're not talking about curios anymore. So that was on a YouTube video a while back. See you, Philip. He's got to go. All right, man. Philostone AP. Yeah. I sold some. I sold a few of those so far. All right. Let's see. I'm zoomed in. Is why it's so big. It working out though. The water castle, that was a big one. The step, people really tend to gravitate to. Yeah, that was cool. You may. It's in an old YouTube video that Nick was on. I think Eric was on that one too, but Nick told some great stories, gave some great context to the early days of Sorcery. And that Omnipotence, when I saw that, man, I was really excited about that curio. That's a good one. I'm going to have to pick it up at some point. This was really cool because I knew of this artwork from my interview with Brian Smith, just talking to him a bunch. The West East Dragon, not into that idea, but now like that it works with the artist proof. I still don't like. I think it's a goofy ass gimmick, like going east west, west east. I don't know. I'm not into that silly nonsense, but it's cool that Jeff painted it west to east because I don't think he even knows about that. There's no way he knows about that curio card, guys. There's no way, but he did it west to east anyway. It's just serendipity. It's just a weird coincidence. Yeah, Eric's Curiosa is iconic. I just don't like the idea of recycling it as a curio card. Just to troll us. So yeah, you click on any image for the description. There's all the details. you need to know about the beta curios, and then here over here the alpha curios. The 9-piece. That was epic. A lot of people like Grim Tangle. Drew Tucker. It's got the continuous event. That is pretty cool aspect of it. Continuous event. And then the old like mana symbols that look like roots or trees. So it was like this root thing. It's kind of like the swamps. And I think this is probably derived from the swamps from Magic. You know, the black mana source. But it's roots because it's an earth card, right? Which is cool. That could have worked. Yeah, the 9-piece was awesome. Yeah, I can see that. You have a EC like to actually pull the Eric's Curiosa Beta Curio. That's fun. That is fun pulling it because it's a really iconic artwork and card. The Francesca Berald Sorcerer with Gridlord on the back. I really like that because a throwback to an early era with a potential name to then come to fruition. The 9-piece was really awesome. Just looks really cool. I'm into that one. Mirror Realm, I don't care about. I know people are big on that, but you know, not like a reversal inverted. I don't know, man. Doesn't do it for me. Murder of Crows is cool because it's a different artwork. Death Dealer's big time iconic, you know. For Zeta. Just looks awesome. This is cool. It's like an art twist. Devil's Egg. Subtle. This self same. Flipping it around again. I don't know, man. That one's not for me either. I asked Elvira if there's any significance to that. And she was like, nah, he just flipped it around. Just flipped it around. So, I don't know why. The bloom is cool. I really like the bloom. It's a beautiful card. I love this green game mechanic box. Really is well done, tastefully done. This is cool. The Ian Miller Free City. The continue aspect of the conjoined art. So Ian has done a lot of book art and stuff, and like oftentimes it has this open, like full front of the book, back of the book, one long continuous illustration, right? So I think that's where this might come from here on this one. The smokestacks that Ian did was from a book cover. That was a licensed work that was done before Sorcery. But yeah, this is pretty cool when you line these together. I like that. That's fun. The River Styx, man, that's a big one. You don't see that one a lot. I don't know who owns those. There's the Braum, man. It's a big one. It's a big deal. The Belfry, Windblast, free controls. Free controls. You hate to end it on a troll note. Brian, you're opening a carton of beta? That's insane. Dig all his stuff. This one was cool to see included. Well, it's midnight, guys. 2 hours. Just rambled about nothing. Said almost nothing for hours. I could say that at the end. It's not going to stop anybody from watching the final 2 seconds. So, thanks for hanging in there, guys. I think I heard we got a bid. This guy changed his profile pic to Biden. Was he in the chat? Thought I saw that name earlier somewhere. All right, so we got some live action here, guys. Go to Collector Art House Discord. Alpha break orders. We got people wanting to do an alpha break. When is the next alpha break, Mike? When did he say that? A few days ago. I said trending toward never. Doesn't seem to be much interest in it these days. Would be fun though. And this guy says he'll take 4 packs. All right. 4 packs. We got a lot to go. All right, so we got a 1,000 bid from Faux Beef for the dragon. So we're at 1,000 on the dragon. The Easily Dragon. You guys want to see some Easily Magic? Where did I take those pictures? It's on Instagram. So you guys should check out like my stuff. Sorcerer Contest Realm community group, Collector Art House Discord. The link's in the description under the link tree. I got a Patreon, which is great. A lot of great offers through there. Look at these guys chatting it up. Look at these. Look at all these bold channels. People talking here while I'm live. Gotta watch the live. If you're in the Patreon, I got this. I got a Patreon section somewhere in here, guys. Somewhere in here. There's a lot of activity here. I gotta streamline the channels. I don't like having too many channels. I think I usually have some of these cascaded sometimes. But there's here we go, Patreon sections. Notifications on offers and things. Yeah, when we do the embellished prints, I advertise them there and take offers on stuff. General chat, orders for stuff. We sold 500 boxes of beta. The first wave. Was it boxes? Yeah, it's a lot of cases. 500 boxes. I just sold 25 cases of summer sorcery. There'll be more for Arthurian Legends. I'm gonna have the best price on the market that the company allows. Probably sell it at. I don't know. Some people get sensitive, like, oh, you selling it like map? Like, yeah, I can do whatever I want. Because there's a reasonable margin at map for relative to the distro price. So I'm gonna give like a good value to Patreon supporters that pay a monthly subscription fee. Like, why wouldn't I do that? It's a win-win. It's a value proposition thing. And then some people will do MSRP. Fine. People want to pay MSRP? Pay MSRP. That's great for the stores or any retailer, Stores are small businesses, so are people to do online stuff, community building stuff, whatever it is. Yep. East, west, west, east. 1,000. So people place bids here in the Discord, but they also do it on the Facebook page, right? You can bid in either place. It's really great here, guys. 4,100 members. 4,086 members. 20 new members this week. Really great growth. 4,100 is really great. Really proud of that. It's been about 2 years. It was 2 years as of January, I think, but it's a great group. You go to the featured banner, you see what auctions are up there. These ones already closed, so I'll take them off. But yeah, we do giveaways at times, auctions. Try to pin it to the top to featured so people can find the auctions. What else is going on here? Beta is back. Soho and PhD. So I'm gonna be working with my store partners to try to get beta for Patreon supporters. So you'll get like a great deal on beta on Arthurian Legends when it comes out, on embellished prints. Those are exclusive. Usually you only do like 10 of those, so they're very limited. And if you can't afford a original painting, or you can get the one you wanted, embellished prints are a great option for people at a different price tier. Yeah, the Zephyrin airship. It's not at reserve yet. It's at $3,700. But it closes Sunday night, so there's still time on that one. I need to pin that. I showed that earlier, guys. It's a gorgeous painting. So beautiful. Marta does really great work. Yeah, the artist proofs. There's a lot of great stuff going on in here. A lot of activity. Look at that Atlas Thorn altar. You see that? Freaking guy, man. So good. But like the Heather says that's flat earther art. Yeah, it's flat earth. Where else would it be? If it falls off into the sky, what else could it be? I try to post about some history here. The Book of Kells. It seems Arthurian Legends worthy. Probable, right? Even probable. And then there's the original artwork. Beautiful piece. Francesca Berald. It's going to be an Arthurian, guys. Look at it. Look, it's a book. It looks like one of the Arthurian. Look at this. It's got the same. It's got like gilded features and like the window pane view, like the Elvira Knight. What a piece. The Gnome Hollows. Look at those frames. Those look good. All right, so we got all the artist announcements here. You know what? You could go in here to the Sorcery group. Go back to the top level. Click that, takes you to the top. You search announcements. Announcement, right? So Margaret Organ Keen is coming to Sorcery Con. Truett Parish is coming to Sorcery Con. Liz Danforth, Sorcery Con. Jeff Menges, Sorcery Con. I used to be able to stream to the group. They messed up the API, so it only goes to Collector Art House. Look at that. So I had this last thing I'll plug here, guys. The No Artist Left Behind campaign. The idea here is if you own a store or if you are a community member and you want to host an event at a store, you can rent LGS space or you can go to your LGS and be like, hey, on a night you don't have a tournament going on, can I just use your store, your tables? I'm going to bring some TCG fans into your store. I'm going to host a tournament. Well, 10 people, whatever it is, right? You're going to have a ticket price for the entry or you're not. You're going to either, if you don't, you charge $10 per ticket. If you do, you add $10 to your typical weekly event price. And then those $10 per ticket would be donated to the SorceryCon Artist Fund. Because the idea is no artists are going to be left behind on Vegas SorceryCon. If you're an artist that commissioned for sorcery, you will come to SorceryCon if you want to. Because I'm determined, whatever it takes to make that possible. If we run out of budget, we will fundraise. If people don't want to help and run events, I will sell something and donate. All right? I don't want any artist that wants to come to not be able to come to Vegas. It's going to be a massive event, a lot of fun for the community, a massive opportunity for artists to engage with their fans, to meet them, really feel loved and appreciated for their work. It's a big deal in both directions. Great experience for the fans and great experience for the artist. All right. So I'm trying to couple loose ends with like a few artists from Europe that I'm really hoping pan out. I can't announce it yet because it's not firm. They're trying to get visas. They're trying to look at cost and see if they can afford to do it. We got 6, 5 from the U.S. and then Elvira Shakarova are the 6 that are announced. And a few wild cards from Europe and maybe a couple even from U.S. and then like maybe a few alters even. It's going to be big, guys. It's going to be really great. All right, guys. Well, I should get to sleep. Appreciate you all hanging in there and hanging out on short notice tonight. It was a really good time. And please like and subscribe to the channel and spread the word. Join Sorcery Community Facebook group, Collector Art House Patreon, if that interests you. The Collector Art House Discord, if you want to talk openly about sorcery, about whatever you want. You can be critical. Nothing's perfect. No one's perfect. Nothing is perfect. There's issues, there's frustrations, opportunities to improve, and they don't improve unless people talk about it and spark good ideas. It's feedback, for the company, for the community members, to not be shitty scumbags to each other and be elitist and say like, nah, gameplay's better or art's better. It's all good. Whatever you're into is better for you. That's all that matters. Like I always say, don't let anyone tell you how to enjoy something, how to enjoy a TCG, a game. If you want to love the art, if you want to play the game, if you want to be a business and sell stuff, if you want to speculate and invest, who cares? Do it. Just do it. Have fun with it and do whatever you want, whatever makes you happy in this life. It's too short. All right, guys. Appreciate all of you. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.